What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. What's going on? It's Monday. I'm trying to find my charger. Where the hell did my charger go? Oh, here it is. Child. So, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Let me move out the way for these damn trucks because they don't be watching nobody. They act like they ain't seeing nobody, watching nobody. Damn, I'm afraid to go because these people drive crazy. I don't know where these folks is going. So, did y'all enjoy the Super Bowl? I didn't watch it. I don't know what time it came on. I just saw the news feed talking about it, talking about, different things that was going on. I did see some pictures of Blue Ivy and her parents. They was there. And I don't know. I don't have an opinion on anything related to the Super Bowl because I didn't watch nothing related to the Super Bowl. I was actually watching videos and on manifestation and mindfulness and meditation. Did I say meditation? Yes. So meditation, mindfulness, and manifestation. So I was just watching that, watching different videos like that, watching videos that were talking about, things related to Kobe. Vanessa, she said some more things. She's on Instagram. She posted a picture of Gigi that somebody, a fan, had created, which was really done well. It was nice, a very nice picture of Gigi with like a purple and yellow jacket on, and yeah. So, you guys, I made a video this Saturday. I usually don't do Saturday videos, but I was out and about and I was alone, so I was like, let me make a video to talk about Chrissy and him, and y'all did, honey, let me tell you something. I talked about Terry Cruz's apology on the video. Y'all didn't care. Y'all was only focused on Chrissy and this marriage thing. I was like, okay, y'all didn't hear anything else I talked about. So I figured that's a hot topic amongst the ladies. Yeah, it's wild. That topic, I guess, is a topic that can talk about all the time because there's so many women who desire a partnership that is, I don't know how to say, they want marriage. I think a lot of a misconception is that if a woman doesn't want marriage, that means she doesn't want partnership. And I want to make that clear. That's not something that I promote. I'm just not an advocate of marriage. That's just what it is. And if you hear for me to get you to be like, yeah, whoever you're laying down with, whoever you're sleeping with, all you got to do is think about, could we run a business together? And if your answer is yes, then go forward and do your thing and, get married. And then I guess you got to wait for him to ask you, right? Are you going to beat him over the head? Like, when are we getting married? When are we getting married? When are we getting married? It's so weird how these modern divas and these modern women all want this traditional, no matter what the traditions are and no matter what the traditions are laid in terms of the foundation of the traditions. Because like I was talking to Craig and we were, he's heterosexual, and we were talking and he's like, I think that, marriage is not, it's just, it's really something new. What did he say? He had a lot to say, and I agree, because I'm just like, I think him and I both are like, we just don't believe in the idea, and it's not even the idea of marriage more so than the wedding and the ring and the things that lead up to that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of women feel like I have some some type of value socially in my social status, because when a woman, not men, but when a woman uses a woman's relationship status as an insult, to me, I believe you've bought into the idea that if a man doesn't choose you at any point in your life, something is wrong with you. And when you put that much value on the choices of a man, and at the same time the way that this country works is to focus on the man, and the man's word is the most valuable, and go by what the man says. Even when what I thought about when do you remember when Candace, I know y'all remember when Candace and Ashley got into it, and they were all talking about what Michael said, and it did not seem to carry any weight until Chris validated it. And when Chris validated it, Karen hollered out, well, a man said it. So basically, we know you're not going to believe none of the women here, but a man said it. So now you believe what we are telling you that we heard the man say. But when the man says it, now there's some value in it. I'm gonna read you some of the things, and then like the diamond industry, the whole thing is just so weird. I have jury duty. I don't have jury duty until Wednesday. I need to take my parking pass out of. It's too cold to be out in the streets. It's 38 degrees, girl. Oh, did you guys see that post that I made the about what Kelis said about black men? Did you guys read the whole article? She's just at a point. I think there's a lot of people at the point where it's like we're not protecting the sanctity of a black man, because the support and the protection is one, conditional, based on your proximity to said man, because we saw that boxer all this weekend grab his wife, girlfriend, or whatever up, Gervonte, is that his name? I don't know, some boxer who was caught on camera at an event grabbing his partner by her throat, and like grabbing her and like walking her while he was holding her throat, walking her to wherever out of the area. And it was so weird because none of the men around her took his hand off of her neck. And then and then what happens is like you see this display of clearly of abuse. And then you see men around him not stop him from taking his hands off of this woman. And there's 3 type of men. There's the one that says, that's not my woman. I have no business getting in between this man and her. So in other words, it's okay. You kind of get a pass for putting your hand on her in this violent way because that's your girlfriend. Then you have the second person who says, he's a boxer. Why would I get in between him and that woman? So in other words, there's no trigger for you to immediately protect this woman who's being choked out by a man because he's a boxer, because that means that he can hit you. So that means that you offer her no protection because your life and your face might be in jeopardy. And then there's the third man who will actually step in between a man and a woman who are in a situation where the man is being violent towards the woman, and will step in to keep the man from putting his hands on her. Now, I wonder about the people around him, because if you know that he is, well, according to an astrologer online, we found out that he has a Scorpio under the sun, under the moon, under Mercury and under Venus. So he sees his partners as possessions across the board. Do you hear me? Across the board. So that's his possession. But I was kind of disappointed in the man who said, well, he's a boxer. I would never. Like, to me, I feel like you're more concerned with yourself then that means that the girl gets no protection because you're afraid of yourself. And you are probably a man who is telling a woman in his life, that he should be the leader simply because he has an elongated clitoris, which you guys refer to as a penis. So because I was really like, I couldn't believe that no one stopped him. So when Kelis says, I'm not protecting the sanctity of a black man anymore, I'm not doing that anymore, my protection and my support is going to be as conditional as theirs. But then when you think about it, it's like, where does that leave us as a community? And that's the question. I don't know. When you decide to say, you know what, we're not creating any organizations, we're not standing up for you, we're not getting on our platforms and yelling and screaming and in support of you when you say you've been assaulted by another man, we're not doing any of that, because we can see that you, Terry Crews, you only see that the only person that you need to answer to is the woman that you stick your penis in. Once again, it just affirms my theory that men only protect, and I'm not talking about just black men, I'm just talking about men. Men only protect what they feel they own. They only protect the women that is within arm's length of them. Just like with that thing with Liam Neeson, he said that he was looking for any black dude on the street to fight, right? That's a mentality. That's some white nationalist type of mentality. I don't care who it is. If it looks like, if the person has the same skin complexion as the person who raped my friend, I'm fighting them. And then when I said, oh, black men don't have that same mentality, and they're like, well, why should I? I ain't beating up no random man and going to, now they all of a sudden law-abiding citizens. I'm not beating up no man and going to jail for some random woman. And it's like, the random women don't matter. It's just like, it's just so weird. It's like, I think the idea of protect and provide it's very, very conditional. A woman who does not have, and even then it is really conditional, because I was assaulted by two men that I would have thought would have protected me, in a situation like my brother assaulted me. My father didn't do anything. Now that's supposed to be your first protector, right? The first person to say, don't let anybody do nothing to you. If anybody does something to you, I'm on their ass. No, when it happened to me, my dad was like, with his back to me, honey. So I guess I know there's a lot of people that have similar stories to where their family members, the men in their family, have not lived up to this idea of, protecting and providing. But just like Terry Crews said, his daughters, they on their own. I don't stick my penis in you, so you on your own. Only person I need to worry about is Rebecca. And I think that leaves so many people unprotected. Like, if something happened to me, I wouldn't know who to call. I really wouldn't. Everybody that I'm close to, in terms of men that I'm close to, is in Mississippi, Georgia, and Maryland. That's it. The men in my family that I feel like I could call, nobody. That if something happened to me, none at all. So while I'm over here protecting Terry Crews and speaking up for him and believing him and speaking out for him, and he's saying, oh yeah, all black women supported me, but now when it's time for me to support them, I'm not fucking them, so I ain't worried about it. And it's unfortunate. And so a lot of people are agreeing with what Kelis said. And you know, a lot of women are taking that approach now, and it's unfortunate, but there are a lot of women, probably an equal amount of women who still will stand up. They just can't help it. I'm probably one of those women. Like, I'm like one that I don't like to see anyone done wrong. That's just me. I'm gonna speak out against someone being done wrong because it's just the right thing to do. You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, and then what else was she saying? She talked about the situation, talked about her husband and how they got their farm and they mind their business. And I was watching a YouTube channel last night, and this woman had this house that was in the middle of nowhere, and it was so beautiful. And I was just like, then she was saying like how she just wants to be isolated in an isolated area because she doesn't really want to be around people. And I think a lot of people feel like that. I know I do. I know I do. If I could work remotely, I would definitely, you know, I used to be like, oh, I want to live close to the city. I want to live close to the city, but I'm slowly moving away from. Yeah, I would like to be in the woods, in the mountains somewhere, or somewhere overlooking some water with a lot of trees around. You know what I mean? That's what I see for myself. And I was watching this YouTube channel, and this girl was showing her house. Her and her husband had just moved into, and she's pregnant, and it's so beautiful. The house was so beautiful. Just this, like an A-line house. It was so cute. It was really, really cute. And I was like, that is perfect. It's just so perfect. And then I watched this other YouTube channel called White Underbelly. Is that what it's called? Soft White Underbelly. That's what it's called, I think. Soft White Underbelly. And it is a channel that deals with or talks to Soft White Underbelly, talks to people who are addicts, people who have been sold into human trafficking, people, pimps, alcoholics, pedophile. They interviewed a pedophile. Who else? It's all kind of meth addicts, crack addicts, prostitutes, strippers, and I watched one of this girl named Kelly, and I noticed it was a couple of trans prostitutes. It's a lot of everybody. When I talk about it's inclusive. It includes a lot of everybody. And this one girl I noticed had the most views, and she had, like, everything had been uploaded. I would say like in the past 4 weeks. I guess this channel is new. I did watch the introduction. The guy was saying that he was a photographer and he worked in corporate America, but he felt like he wasn't really leaving a legacy, and he wanted to figure out how he can help people. So he started interviewing these types of people who have these disabilities, these mental illnesses, girls who have been sold into trafficking and stuff like that. And like I said, I noticed that one of the videos had 2 million views. And I was like, okay, let me watch it. And it's a black girl from Los Angeles named Kelly. And she tells her story. And her story is very graphic, very traumatic, very violent. And I don't want to say the things that she went through here, because even he was like, I had to change some of my videos because of YouTube's community guidelines. The things that they talk about, it kind of, I guess, you know, is too much for this new YouTube community guidelines. And but basically, her first time that someone assaulted her, sexually assaulted her, she was 5 years old. And then she was sold into human trafficking and sex trafficking at 11, and she's been doing it ever since. And she's telling all of these awful stories, and these men who are abusive, and the women who were abusive to her, and things like that. So I'm listening to her story and I'm watching, and I was like, oh my God, this poor girl. I feel really bad for her. She seems like she's disassociated a lot of the things. When a person talks about traumatic events in a way that is like, it happened to me, they've disassociated. They haven't dealt with it. In my experience, you're doing the most. You're doing the most. You're doing the most. Yeah, you're gonna have to get from behind me. I don't play that shit. And what I noticed was, she seems very like removed from these things that have happened to her, and they're very traumatic. If you go watch it, but be warned, because she talks about graphic things, but the way that she talks about it, she's just like, these things happen to me. So then I went on Twitter and I'm talking about it, right? And then I see that there's an update of her, and she's the only one with an update. And I'm like, okay. So the guy is talking about the girl and saying that she's okay. Before I get to the update, I think that was just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, an update on this girl Kelly, the guy who runs this channel. I see when I go on Twitter and I do a search for the hashtag to see if anybody else is talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people questioning the validity of one of the videos. Guess who? Guess who the only person. Now I'm telling you, when I tell you there's everybody from crack, heroin, meth addicts, prostitutes, trans prostitutes, alcoholics, pimps, pedos, all of this stuff. The only video where everybody started questioning validity is the black girl. And that's the first thing that stuck to. I said, why are we lack so much compassion when it comes to the safety of black girls? What is that? What is that? Why do we question the validity? Now, people saying, oh, because her grandmother, who's probably an old woman who allowed her to be abused because she was removed out of her grandmother's home, according to her story, several times. So if your grandmother adopted you out of fostered you out of foster care and you were taken from her, something ain't right. But your grandmother gets on Facebook and says that you're lying, and everybody believes this woman. Where we know that black women within our community kind of uphold the abuse that is inflicted upon little black girls. We know it. And we're not going to act like it doesn't exist, okay? We're not going to act like that. And the fact that her story, and then also she's on Instagram. So because she's a 21-year-old, now she's a prostitute who's addicted to cocaine and all of this stuff. But now because she's on Instagram drinking and walking the streets, all of a sudden her story is not real. She's the only one. Her, and I went back and I was like, let me look at all these videos and see who else has the most views. It was her and a white girl who was a meth addict. I thought it was an Asian girl just from her thumbnail, but then I watched it and it's a white girl. It's just the way she was posed. Her eyes looked kind of, she looked Asian. And I was like, why? And then I'm looking in her comments. No one questioning the validity of her story. No, I'm looking in other comment section. The only one is the little black girl. She's 21 years old. Everybody's questioning the validity. Oh, she's a fraud and she's doing this. So now, guess what she needs? She needs a white man to back her up so that y'all could believe her. So the update comes out. And he says that she's legit. She's went out and got a job. She's done everything she said she was going to do, because he said it was, when he interviewed her, it was the day before Christmas. And she kept saying that she wanted to die by suicide. That's what she kept saying. And she was like, I might do it tonight. I don't know. I just really feel bad because I really don't have anybody and this and that. Well, now she has, coming up now, she has a boyfriend. They both homeless. They're both homeless. And this white man is saying all of these things. So I guess we believe it now because this white man has validated this girl's story, validated her story. Also he created a GoFundMe. And you know how when people, and one thing that I don't understand, the psychology behind people, when they see someone else getting any kind of money, they immediately get jealous. They get jealous. They start acting like that money that's being given to them somehow takes away from the money that they could get. And they get jealous, and you know, a lot of shit goes on in these YouTube streets because people are getting super chats. You know what I'm saying? People get really upset. I don't know. I think that's something that I want to look into. I really don't understand the psychology behind why people get so invested in other people and the money that they're getting. I don't get it. I just don't get it. All I can attribute it to is jealousy and envy, because money's being printed right now. You can get money too. And for anybody to start questioning this young lady, because this man, the person who interviewed her, created a GoFundMe, and she's up to like $9,000, I think she said. I think he confirmed it's like $9,000, and she's going to get an apartment. She's going to pay for a couple of months rent. She's going to buy her a car. She has a job, but she's still looking for other jobs. She wants to go back to school. And what's crazy is the man said, everybody that told me they were going to do something, they didn't follow through with it. She is the only one who followed through with the things she said she's going to do. Like, she really wants to change her life. And it saddened me that so many black people did not believe this little girl. And it's just an indication that they're not protected. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, and I hate that trope. But I see affirmations of it all the time. I see it all the time. Here it is, this young girl. She got when I tell you, go to that channel, 2 million views she has. And then go watch her update so you can hear the white man validate and confirm this girl's story. And I'm sure he's checked her out because he says he likes to help people. He likes to help people, you know, and that's good. And he said and he even said she's the only one that has really followed through with everything she said she was going to do. She went out and found her a job. She's staying in a shelter right now, her and her boyfriend, I think, staying in a shelter. They're trying to find a place. And this money that she got from the GoFundMe, that this white man said, if she didn't set up the GoFundMe, he set it up for her. And I was really disappointed in the end, and it stuck out immediately. She's the only one whose story is being questioned because her grandmother, fuck that lady. There's a lot of grandmothers that sit there and watch their granddaughters be abused by men who come through the house. It's a lot of them. So all of a sudden you're going to believe the adult? Girl, I don't give a damn. And then at the end of the day, if the girl, and I think a lot of people, this is what my theory is, a lot of people believe that people are lying about their traumatic stories because, one, they don't want to believe that people are that disgusting and that evil to have intercourse with a 5-year-old to the point where they're bleeding and their entire body and they're laying in pools of blood and shit. They don't want to believe that people are that evil. They don't want to believe that she was strapped to a chair with electric tape and a drill put to her head and a screw put to her head. They don't want to believe that. And then there's other people who believe because she's not crying and sobbing, people figure out ways to cope with traumatic events. And a lot of the times people disassociate the event from when they're telling it so that they're not triggered anymore by it. Like some of the people I was watching, they broke down and they cried. This girl was not crying. She has been a victim of sexual abuse since she was 5 years old. She's 21 years old. So can you imagine just her mental, her spiritual, her physical and emotional states? All of them have been compromised. And the fact that her community, when watching it, questioned her and then listened to an adult who She was removed from their home. You all of a sudden want to listen to the adult, and she's lying and she's a fraud. Yeah, she's in survival mode, and she's gonna and possibly say whatever she needs to say in order to survive. That happens too. She said that she tried meth. She was like, I tried meth the other day, and I went to jail because I was walking around down on Skid Row in LA. I was walking around naked. This is a 21-year-old black girl. And everybody questioned her. I was really disappointed. Go watch her story, and then you can see when you pull her up, when you pull up Kelly and then Soft White Underbelly, you're gonna see other videos of people calling her a fraud, and then using her Instagram page as if she can't have an Instagram page, because I guess somebody who's been through all these traumatic events should be laying on the side of the road, curled up, absence of any type of resiliency. They should just be broke down. So now you don't believe her. I was like so disappointed, but I was like, that's what we do. That is what we do, and it's really sad. It's real sad. And so y'all let me know. Go watch the video. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about with this girl Kelly. Let me know what your opinion about it is. I believe her. I'm glad somebody is helping her. You know what's crazy is, it's like, this is a white man helping this black girl out and helping her get on her feet. And he was like, I've met her boyfriend. All of that. This is this man saying, I've met her boyfriend. And if they scamming the dude, they doing it for survival. And if he has the money, he's going to make sure that she gets the things that she says she's going to get. And that's it. And that's all you can do. Now, if she scammed the people, what do you feel like? Oh my gosh, she's getting money. All of a sudden, she's not telling the truth because people are being compassionate towards her and giving her money. I just think it's so unfair. It's not fair at all. And it's sad, because it's like, thank God she did that interview and told her story so that somebody can help her. Somebody felt the need to help this girl. And what's wrong with that? And why do y'all get upset when somebody starts getting money? What is that about? I need to figure out what that's about. What is this thing like, oh my God, somebody else is getting money, now I gotta discredit them or make them feel some kind of way? I don't understand. I don't understand. That's something I will never understand. What else? Joaquin Phoenix got up at the BAFTA Awards and told the people, I'm gonna let you hear Bluetooth.
Line in.
Okay, come on, lady. Bluetooth audio.
Bluetooth audio.
Here we go. Hold on. Joaquin Phoenix, he got up there and told the people, yeah, so here we go.
I feel very honored and privileged to be here tonight. BAFTAs have always been very supportive of my career, and I'm deeply appreciative.
This is Joaquin Phoenix. You know, he played the Joker, River Phoenix's brother.
I also feel conflicted because so many of my fellow actors that are deserving don't have that same privilege. I think that we send a very clear message to people of color that you're not welcome here. I think that's the message that we're sending to people that have contributed so much to our medium and our industry, and in ways that we benefit from. I don't think anybody wants a handout or a preferential treatment, although that's what we give ourselves every year. I think that people just want to be acknowledged and appreciated and respected for their work. This is not a self-righteous condemnation, because I'm ashamed to say that I'm part of the problem. I have not done everything in my power to ensure that the sets I work on are inclusive, but I think that it's more than just having sets that are multicultural. I think that we have to really do the hard work to truly understand systemic racism. I think that it is the obligation of the people that have created and perpetuate and benefit from a system of oppression to be the ones that dismantle it. So that's on us. Thank you.
That's River Phoenix's brother, Joaquin Phoenix, who is a phenomenal actor, who played the Joker. You know, a lot of people had critiques of the Joker or whatever, but he doesn't make him less of a great actor. And his message was clear, and I love that he held himself accountable and told people that you created the system, you need to be the ones to dismantle it. Beautiful, beautiful. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other, protect your energy, and we'll talk soon. Peace.